I recently read the book Little Bets by author Peter Sims. Peter Sims has studied dozens of people and organizations who develop great products in environments of great uncertainty. Two subjects detailed in his book Little Bets are Chris Rock and Pixar Studios. Chris Rock is one of the best comedians of our time, and Pixar is a California-based animation studio who has created 17 consecutive blockbuster films. Both Chris Rock and Pixar expect their products to be perfect, but their approach to work is anything but perfect. Both Rock and Pixar have an experimental approach to developing their ideas, an approach that Peter Sims calls Little Bets. By making little bets, they are able to identify unexpected possibilities and build up to a great end product. Author Peter Sims defines little bets as concrete actions taken to discover, test, and develop ideas through the acceptance of affordable failure. When Chris Rock sets out to develop a new HBO comedy special, he goes to his local comedy club in New Brunswick, New Jersey, unannounced, and performs in front of 50 or fewer people, while carrying a yellow legal notepad of jokes that he scribbled down throughout the day. His jokes are undeveloped, and most of them fall flat on their face. For 45 minutes, he'll ramble on, lose his train of thought, and consistently refer back to his notes. His performances are painful to watch. His audience often folds their arms and looks noticeably unimpressed. Peter says that Rock tries hundreds, if not thousands, of preliminary ideas, out of which only a handful will make the final cut. Chris Rock knows that even after a decade of producing hit stand-up comedy shows, he can't predict which jokes will be a hit and which ones won't. But Rock deeply understands that ingenious ideas almost never spring into people's minds fully formed. They emerge through a rigorous, experimental discovery process. Chris builds his way up to an HBO comedy special by determining what he can afford to lose along the way. Those losses are contributing to the larger payoff of a highly successful show that will be seen by millions. When Pixar starts developing a new film, they spend a few years producing a huge number of storyboards, most of which are thrown out. You see, storyboards are these hand-drawn comic book versions of a potential film scene. As Pixar has increased their success, they've also increased the number of bad storyboards they produce. A Bug's Life had approximately 27,000, Finding Nemo had 43,000, Ratatouille had 69,000, and WALL-E had almost 100,000 storyboards. Ed Catmull, Pixar's president, says that this is how Pixar's films go from suck to non-suck. They develop thousands of rough storyboards and work through thousands of bad ideas. Pitching storyboards is Pixar's way of making little bets. The rejection of each storyboard within Pixar is an affordable loss that the Pixar team members are willing to take in order to discover a scene that works. Pixar reduces the risk of presenting bad ideas by plussing almost all ideas that come their way. They are careful to remove the link between a stupid idea and a feeling of being stupid by finding some small thing they like about an idea and then adding to it. For example, I like the way you drew Woody's eyes there. What if we made them a little wider?
I think this is very important. Even within something that did not work, there might be one thing that was very good. So net as a whole, it was really bad, but there was one really brilliant thing out of the 100 bad things. That is also important to try and isolate. So isolate what works and doesn't work in general in a big way, but also try and isolate something small within something big that did not work. So often people it's like reading a book. You can read a book that most of the book was not good at all, but there was that one passage that was life-changing.
Both Pixar and Rock are perfectionists that are doing creative work, but they don't let their perfectionism paralyze their progress.